Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel and welcome back to GreenRiver. This is episode number 11 and we are just doing some field work here helping out the guys here on the farm, doing a little bit of fertilization, and we're going to go do some fertilization of our own here in just a few minutes. Now, if you might remember from the previous episode number 10, and I'm sure you do remember that because I'm certainly not insinuating that you guys have short memories like me, but nevertheless, in episode number 10, we basically cut some grass over on some leased fields that we leased as part of our storyline here on GreenRiver, and making sure I'm going the right direction here. We'll get off this here. This has been cultivated, not seeded yet, but that has been seeded to our right, so we don't want to drive on that. But you might remember that we cut some grass and we hauled that grass over to our fermentation silo over at the industrial complex, and we hauled we cut the one field on camera, and then I did the second field off camera, and I guess all told probably 6 or 7, probably 7 or 8 loads, 50,000 liters each went to the fermentation silo. So and I guess probably about 35,000 liters or 40,000 liters or so, the last bit that I took off the second field, I went and dumped that into our mixing station, our cattle food mixing station. So that is sort of going to be dormant for right now, just simply because we don't have any straw to put in it. I don't think we have a need for total mixed rations right now. I think we still have some over there, and we will just have to kind of play it by ear and see if we need to buy any straw to make up another load, which we certainly can do if we need to. Speaking of buying things and whatnot, we are down to $39,000. We did fill up our seeder because we needed to continue seeding, and so we have planted our 2 fields of canola. Let me just kind of bring up our field chart here while we're filling up with fertilizer. So we've got these 2 fields are wheat, these 2 fields are canola, and let's see, what else do we have going on here? These are going to be soybeans at the end of the day. These 2 here are going to be sunflowers, and of course we planted field number 14 in, what did we plant that in? Sugarbeets? Yeah, sugarbeets. For the pigs, that's right. It's funny how I'm still trying to come to terms with not having played for, I don't know, what was it, 2.5 weeks or something like that, with all the PC problems and everything that I certainly had over that span of time. So anyway, my apologies if I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I will try to get my stuff together and get back with the program and everything, because obviously one of the reasons why I wanted to scale down to 2 maps, or sorry, down to 1 map, was so that I wouldn't be so scatterbrained when it comes time to thinking about what I need to do next and everything. I was when I had all 3 series going, Midtown USA, Tazewell County, and in Thornton Farm. It was a little bit of a guessing game as to what I was doing and when I was supposed to be doing it and all that kind of stuff. So now I have it for pretty good authority that this field has not been planted yet. We don't own it, but we're just going to go ahead and zoom across it here like we do own it, and I head over to the leased field that we have leased with grass in it, and we're going to go ahead and lay down an application of fertilizer. Now we're opting to use granular fertilizer here in this example, only simply because it has been quite wet. We did have rain that came in last night. We've got more forecasted today, and all of that good stuff. So we will put down some granular fertilizer, and of course when it does rain, that'll help push this into the soil. So hope everyone is having a wonderful day wherever you may be and watching this video. I'm not real sure when this video is going to air, so I'm not going to say anything about the date. I am going to say that I am going to, before the PC crash, before episode number 10, which was the first episode that I have recorded Farm Sim, or really any of the content that I produce on my channel, which I recorded yesterday. Before I did that, before I recorded that episode, I had not played Farm Sim, or I had not played any games as far as that goes, for 2.5, 3 weeks, something like that. That's in between all of the issues with Windows 10, the attempt to try to restore Windows 10, and then phase 2 was basically rebuilding the Beast version 4, and then of course I had the motherboard failure, and then of course now we're on the Beast version 5, which is just a fantastic gaming computer. It's fantastic. It is it's the most powerful computer that I have actually ever used for gaming purposes, and it is just truly amazing, and I'm so happy with it. I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with how the build went. I mean, the build was just the build was so amazing and so easy. We're not going to fertilize his field here, so we're just going to come around and do like that, and not spend our fertilizer for his benefit. But yeah, the build was super easy, and I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that, but sometimes you got to give credit where credit is due. And of course, I think I mentioned in episode number 10 that I had built about 10 machines in the last 20 years or so, and I sat down and I counted those up, and it was actually 11 machines all told, but it was five of those machines were more true gaming machines. Now I think a couple of those other 6 machines I did game on a little bit, but they were quite a long time ago, and comparing specs and everything certainly is not an easy thing to do. And I think I said 20 years. I meant about 25 years. And so a couple of those builds I actually did when I sat down and kind of remembered things a little bit more accurately. I did those for some other people back in the day. So anyway, all total 11 machines that I believe that I have built. That is what my recollection is telling me, or what my memory is telling me. And I think I also mentioned in the previous episode that the Beast version 4 was the only machine that actually did sort of let go on me, that sort of failed before it reached its end of life stage for me. And so anyway, I was happy to get the use out of it. I would have loved a little bit more advance notice, because I could have continued with my production schedule, albeit maybe I was a little bit too far ahead, and I am going to try to pace myself by doing a little bit more flight sim, which I am currently doing off camera, not recording that content at all. That is kind of my own personal gaming enjoyment that I do sort of off camera, and for my own sanity and pleasure and everything. But maybe do a little bit more of that, which will obviously keep me from getting too far ahead. But speaking of which, I do still want to make sure that I can keep a proper amount of videos releasing while the period that I'm gone. I think my trip in June is still on, and that's a work-related trip. I think that is still on the schedule, and so there'll be a few days where I won't be able to record any episodes, but I am going to scale things back just slightly. I was going to say, before all the chaos of all the computer failures and all the builds and all that kind of stuff, I was giving you guys 5 episodes a week, plus there was 2 weeks I think I actually gave you 6. So I am going to scale that back to probably 4 episodes, or probably no more than 5, and try to gosh, I am doing a very poor job of spreading this fertilizer here, but try to keep you guys from getting too bombarded with videos, because as I've said before, and I'm very pleased that you do, I know that you guys watch other folks' videos. I hope you're watching My good friends Doug Zorley and Eustace Farmer, they put out extraordinary content. And Doug Zorley is putting out about as many videos per week as I am. He's a mad, I was going to say a madman, but actually he's a mad duck at putting out content. And I think he's actually going to scale back a little bit as well, because we have to be careful, us as content creators, that we don't burn ourselves out. And I know that it's happened to me, and it's happened to many others, where we get to a point to where that we're just so busy that sometimes if something happens in our life, not necessarily related to gaming or YouTube or any of that stuff, that sometimes something will happen and it will just kind of trigger maybe a reality check with things. And oftentimes, if we are kind of burned out with what we've been doing as far as gaming and everything goes, that can sort of give us a little bit of a pause for to, again, sort of a reality check, I suppose. So about 11 minutes into this video, we're going to zoom over and go ahead and fertilize the other field. That is the field that we, let's see, can we get there from here? I don't think we can. We'll just kind of skirt through here again. I have it under pretty good authority that this field has not been planted yet, even though it probably looks like it has. But you know something, we're just going to go with it with the storyline, and we'll just zoom around here, and they won't know who drove over it. We'll tell them that it was some high school kids or something. So we're going to go over here and fertilize the second leased field, and then I think we need to stop by the pig yard and probably tend to the pigs, give them some water, give them some food, and check on their straw situation. And then most likely that will wrap up this episode. Now I did, well actually no, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to go sell at least one trailer load of hay pellets. We're going to go sell one load of that at least. So we might go just a little bit over on our time, but I'll try to get it all done as quickly as possible for you. But anyway, I do know that you guys watch other content, and I'm very appreciative of that, and so are the folks that you guys watch. And I just want to make sure that I don't monopolize the amount of free time that you have. Of course, you're going to do what you've got to do, and that might even mean foregoing, you know, some videos of mine or whatever. But anyway, I'm kind of thinking that 4 and 5 are certainly enough, probably from the grizzly bear Sims, and that is going to be just fine. I like how the water sort of gushes out of that culvert there. Speaking of water gushing out of culverts, we've had some nice and very much appreciative rain here in the Mile High City and around the Mile High City the last couple of weeks. And I think I mentioned in the previous episode, and you can probably tell that my voice is not any better than it was yesterday. It is still quite hoarse, and so hopefully that will subside as the season progresses. But yeah, all the rain that we've had, the grass has popped, the trees are all coming out with leaves, and some of the flowers are blooming and stuff like that. It's crazy because I'm recording this episode on the 8th of May, and of course we're coming up to Mother's Day weekend this coming weekend. Of course, by the time you've watched this video, Mother's Day weekend will have come and gone, but the point I'm making here is that we are coming up on Mother's Day weekend as far as where I am in real time. And here in Colorado, the sort of the general rule of thumb is you don't plant any flowers or any sort of sensitive shrubs or stuff like that until after Mother's Day, because we can often still have snow, and this time of year when we do get snow, it is often heavy. It's very thick. It's a mashed potatoes, almost a mashed potato type consistency, and anything we suffer from losing tree limbs and losing flowers and all that kind of stuff this time of year, again because of that thick snow. But the general rule of thumb is here in Colorado is that you don't plant anything until after Mother's Day. Of course, The big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that, my gosh, they've had outdoor plants and flowers and stuff out in their parking lot for a good week and a half, 2 weeks now. And I was up at Home Depot just this last weekend. I needed to pick up a couple of things, and I saw people hauling plants and small little bushes and stuff like that out, thinking to myself, gosh, I would sort of wager to guess that you haven't lived in Colorado very long, and because we learned our lesson a long time ago that Mother's Day is way too early to consider planting anything here in Colorado. We typically wait, myself, my wife and I, we typically wait until Memorial Day weekend or after to do that, because while we're about 3 weeks away, I suppose, from Memorial Day at this point, at the point that I'm recording this episode, that will get us into a little bit safer territory where we won't run the risk of having snow and really, really cold temperatures. I think the last year that we actually made the mistake of planting right around Mother's Day, we went and spent probably $100 or more at Home Depot and bought some flowers and stuff, and spent Sunday for Mother's Day weekend with my wife. Of course, we don't have kids. Well, we had cats, and of course they were our children, still are, although we don't have them anymore because they died. But we spent all this money. We put these plants out and everything, and yeah, we had snow like the very next weekend, and it pretty much demolished them because, again, it's very heavy, thick consistency of snow. That's kind of what our early fall and spring snows are like here, and both present a problem because even in the early fall, we're kind of thinking, well, we're not going to be expecting any snow or whatever, and the trees still have leaves on them and whatnot, and then we get that snowstorm that comes along, and causes some problems. So let me grab the screenshot right quick, because guess what, folks, if I don't do it, I will forget, and if I forget, then it's kind of a crazy world for me to have to come back and recreate it, and oftentimes I don't realize that I have forgotten to do a screenshot until it's too late. I've already shut the computer down, I've already kind of gone on about my day and everything, or my evening as is the case. Alright, well, we are about 17 minutes into the video, so we're going to just very quickly finish up this field. We're going to drive over to the pig yard. We're going to top the pigs' food up, and give them some water and maybe some straw if we have any over there. I can't remember now if we put some there or not, or if it's been used. So we will just zoom over there really quick and get that done, and then we're going to go and sell a load of hay pellets and get our money and everything up. Of course, we've got good money making opportunities in front of us. We've got, let's see, I'd probably suggest that we might have about 50,000 liters or so of compost at the compost plant that we need to go get. And then also all the grass that we've taken over and put in the silage silo, we could pull maybe 50,000 liters of that out of there and go and sell that at the BGA. So there is opportunities to make a little bit of coin, and if we need to, we certainly will do that. And obviously we've also got the opportunity to go and let's just park this here so it doesn't get in the way, because we're not going to use this tractor for any of these things that we're going to do. So let's just hop out and we'll cross the street and hope we won't get run over. And let's see what we have done here, if I remember correctly from what, again, my apologies, because we need that. Well, we don't really need it, but we need it to stay connected to the tractor. So I think this is full of pig food. I think it is. At least it seems like something that I would do. Maybe fill this thing up and leave it parked here, covered up, because, hey, Why not? Yep, we've got pig food. So we will go ahead and head up here. And we're going to get out and go open the gate. There we go. And then we'll moonwalk backwards because we have that ability to do that. Not really. I tend to dance like I'm, well, I haven't danced in years, but I suppose when I used to, it was an awful sight, I'm sure. All right, we'll give the pigs some food here, and of course they don't take very much. They never really do. Our magic number for pigs is 13. Yeah, 13 pigs. I think that's what I wrote down. I think that's what our trailer holds, is 13 pigs. So I think we've got 108. So we basically need to have 5 more pigs born to get us to 113. And then of course our plan is, as we have talked about it, our plan is that we will go and sell those pigs once we get to 13, haul a trailer load over and sell those, and then that way we kind of can help protect our funds and everything a little bit better that way, because well, it just makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to get out here and let's go see if we've got a bale of straw. I can't remember if we set some in here or not. I always forget that this door, yeah, we do have a couple of bales of straw. Now can I use my superpowers here? And there we go, fed one of them in there. Let's get back over to our animal menu here and take a look and see how that did. Straw, that filled them up. That's good enough. So we've still got 2 bales of straw there, which we will leave, and we'll shut our gate here. And again, I keep forgetting that on these doors we have to hold the mouse button down. So it's right click to close it and left click to, and let's just put our bucket down and set our parking brake. We don't need that tractor anymore. And then the last thing we need to do is shut our gate and fill them up with some water. And see, that gate you can just click it one time. And then we'll fill up the pigs with water. And that's done, and let's just check it for consistency. We're good to go. All right, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to the main farm, because that's where we need to go. And from there, we'll grab a tractor and we'll haul a trailer of hay pellets to the hay pellet sell point and see how much we get for those. We'll just take this little shortcut here and head across the creek this way. I find the wooden bridges a little easier to navigate across than those other bridges. So I'm guessing, what was the word I was looking for. Let me just pull up my spreadsheet here. I don't really know when this episode is going to go live, and I'm kind of driving all over the place. But we're getting into the time. I'm sure you guys will probably watch this video on Friday the 18th, and I do know, I do realize that I need to wrap up Tazewell, and I will. I promise I will. I've just kind of been wanting to really, it's been, like I said, it's been almost 3 weeks since I've spent any time in Farm Sim, and there's not really a whole lot to do on Tazewell other than just kind of close things out and tell you all how we did and all that kind of stuff. But I've really wanted to have some fun, and so obviously that's why I am playing GreenRiver. Obviously we have a lot that we still need to do with this map, or with progress and everything, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. But let's see, we've already got a tractor over there, so we'll take that tractor. But what was I gonna say? I can't remember. I had a brain lapse. It happens. I'm old. I'm getting old. All right. I don't know what I was saying. Obviously, it wasn't too important, and if I can think of what it was, then I will tell you all about it. Let's get this over here like that, and we'll raise this up out of the way. We'll go back over this direction, and let's just fashion the tension belts, although it doesn't go over the top of the thing, but it does it like that. All right, and we'll get inside the cab so it's a little quieter. We'll go out this back gate. Well, I think I was talking about the bridges. It's easier for me to drive across those bridges. But anyway, what I was going to say, and I just realized what that was, and it wasn't about the bridges. So as we're getting fairly deep into, it looks like we've got a tractor that's about to run out of seeds, but as we're getting fairly deep into May already, and again, I think you guys are going to watch this episode on or about the 18th or so of May. What are your summer plans? School's almost out. If you've got kiddos in school, or if you yourself are in school or college or whatever, obviously college is probably already wrapped up here in the U.S. I know my boss's son, who just finished his first year at Virginia State in their engineering department. No, not engineering, architecture department. Just got home this last weekend. So around the 4th, I think, or 5th of May was when his classes all got wrapped up and everything. Obviously, high school is going to be, the kiddos are going to be getting out of elementary school and high school and everything towards the end of May. So what are your summer plans? What do you have going on? What are your planned expectations? Any projects? Anything that you can share with me? Do feel free to share that information down below in the comment section. If you would leave a comment, let me know. I'll be sure to respond to you, and or head over to Discord and share that information with us over there as well. Of course, if it's personal or confidential or whatever, obviously don't do that then. But I'm just talking about just general kind of fun, what you're doing, where you might be planning on going, stuff like that, and would love to hear about that. And so we're coming up on 27 minutes, and we'll just sell this stuff, and then I'll let you get on with your day or with your evening or whenever that is. Now you might remember that we set up a little kiosk over here, and that is where we are going to sell this. So I think what I need to do, for sanity's sake, I need to bring up my F1 menu. We need to unfasten the tension belts. I think we need to unload them on the trailer, and hopefully nothing fell off, and it looks like some did, but that's okay. And I think if we drive up here, we should be able to sell these. And they're selling $4,015 per pallet. That's certainly nothing to sneeze at. I'll take that all day long, and maybe twice on Sunday. That is not bad at all. So we're going to back up here and grab these. We're going to do it the easy way here. As soon as I back them up and pick those two guys up, and then we'll turn work mode off, and then we're going to unload them, and hopefully they won't fly off again. And then sell these two guys, and I'll start wrapping this up. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in to my channel, watching my videos, and hanging out with me, even though you're really not here. I know you are here in spirit, and I appreciate that very much. I appreciate the way you guys interact with me, both in the comments section, whether it's just saying hi or giving me commentary or whatever, answering my questions when I ask them about what your plans are, what you're doing, whatever that might be, hanging out with me over on Discord, etc. I appreciate that. So I'm going to actually park under this tree here because I need to go and help out our AI guy here, get him filled up with seeds. And I will just, without any further ado, say thank you all so very much for watching again. Take very good care of yourself and also of each other. Most likely when we come back, we'll still be in the same game day because this is a brand new game day for us. We'll do another video of this same game day. And I would suspect in the next day or so, we should be able to go and sell some pigs, and that'll be cool because that'll make us a little bit of money and give us a reward for all of our hard work that we've been doing in raising those pigs. And really until then, I will just say goodbye, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.